Back to My Garden, episode 0?
Welcome to Back to My Garden. Discover your passion for gardening. Here's Dave Ledoux.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world when you listen to this. I'm Dave Ledoux, and welcome to episode 0, the hidden, uncharted episode. This is before our launch. I'm coming at you not just through cyberspace, but cyber time. Here we are in late July 2014, about to launch the Back to My Garden podcast. I want to thank you for listening to this. This is a little time capsule, just me and you. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is going on? Well, as you know, the price of food is rising. Add to that sales taxes, gasoline taxes, inflation. Gosh, even more of our paychecks disappear. Some people have found a way to grow their own delicious organic vegetables, beautiful flowers, and healthy herbs at home. Now, most people that I show this to get really excited, curious, and want more information, but some of them don't. You know the type. They love to complain, watch too much TV, and do nothing instead of taking care of themselves and their families. In 1995, 25% of Americans believed their food supply was of major concern. By 2005, nearly 75% of people are concerned not just about their health, but their food decisions for their family. There's only two types of people in the world. One, those who want to take charge of their food for their family, and number two, those who don't. Which group would you like to belong to? And that's why you're here. Welcome to Back to My Garden. This is a 3-time-a-week podcast where I get to interview gardeners from around the world. They're enthusiastic amateurs all the way up to experts and master gardeners. Just in our first few episodes, we've got Annie Haven, Rochelle Greer, Joel Karsten, Susan Cohen, Shauna Coronado, Chelly Cuevas, Richard Lewis, Andy McKindo, Chad Huspeth. We've got Joe Lample coming up, Holly Baird. We've got gardeners from all over the world talking about their passion, and that's gardening. And this is where you come in. If you've never been involved in podcasts before, it's all a popularity contest. If you like this content, if you resonate with it, if you feel it's valuable, the most important thing you can do is enjoy it, consume it, and most importantly, share it. Social media being one of the vehicles. You can follow us on Twitter at BackToMyGarden, share our stuff. We have a Facebook page, Back to My Garden, share our stuff. Probably right now, if I could ask a favor, go to Apple, and you can see our iTunes logo on our BackToMyGarden.com site. And leave us a review, leave us a rating, and subscribe. Apple pushes the most popular content to the front of the room. And our mission, our goal is to get 1 million people interested in gardening in the next decade. Whether that's vegetable gardening, flower gardening, herb gardening, fish-powered gardening with aquaponics, it all counts. And so that's where we're at. We got so many exciting guests. It's a 30-minute show. Every show we dig deep. They drop wisdom. They drop experience. They share resources. And it doesn't matter if you're growing a couple of pots on a balcony in your apartment in a major city, or you're like Rochelle Greer living on a hilltop in Harvard, Massachusetts with a 3-acre garden. It's all part of the family of gardening. One of our guests is the head gardener of an estate in England where they've been growing vegetables in this garden since the late 1880s. Picture that. I think it's a little bit after the powdered wigs and frilly shirts, but you get the idea. Century farming and everything in between. We got science. We got old school. We've got new cutting edge techniques. It's all in the show. So thank you for tuning in. I'm extremely passionate. Who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I grew up gardening. My parents in 1974 moved us to a small village an hour from a major city. And in the 1970s, the price of gasoline was going through the roof. Everything was rising in price. There was concerns about government corruption and war in the Middle East. That was the 1970s. Our garden was a half of an acre. I was 6 years old. I used to pick potato bugs and put the potato bugs in a jar And that was my first money, spending money as a kid. A bag of potato chips was 25 cents. You could buy a Pick-a-Pop for 25 cents. A comic book was 25 cents. A stamp was 9 cents. A pack of cigarettes was 98 cents because I would get $1, go to the store to get my parents a pack of cigarettes, and a Bazooka Joe was 2 cents. And if you don't know what a Bazooka Joe was, it was a little pink petrified piece of gum with a comic book inside it. That was the 1970s. Our raspberry patch was so big we could pick a gallon pail every single day in the summer. So I grew up gardening, but as I went into gardening as an adult, I had no time for it. I was climbing the corporate ladder, hustle, hustle, hustle. And gardening was viewed as another stress in my life. But my darling wife started gardening in 1994, and I really enjoyed the eating side of the equation. There's a lot of benefit to that. But it's been the last 3 summers. We've moved out to a small village in the country. We have raised bed gardens, and I have just, Ozzy Osbourne says, if you hang out with barbers, eventually you're going to get a haircut. Well, I have caught the gardening bug, and I feel so privileged to interview these passionate gardeners from around the world and share them with you. So welcome to the Back to My Garden family. If you have questions, ideas, input, I want to hear it from you. You can leave it on our YouTube channel. You can leave them on the Facebook group. You can come to our website at BackToMyGarden.com, and there's a contact us form. And if you want to be on the show, you don't need to be a big garden writer or a gardener on TV. If you're passionate about gardening and you have input and ideas and wisdom you want to share, you can get on the show, fill out that contact us form. Anyhow, that's the end of this 000 hidden podcast, coming at you from July 2014, like a time capsule. We're going live in iTunes August 15th and Stitcher and SoundCloud. Plus, you can download it off the site. Got the new site redesign. Oh, and make sure you get on our newsletter. Shh, don't tell anybody. You go to BackToMyGarden.com/VIP, and that's like a hidden page only for listeners of the podcast, and you can download a bunch of goodies there, get on the list where we only send like insider stuff, freebies, contests, all that, because you're going to be part of the family. All right, I'm Dave Ledoux, signing off from a first inaugural edition of Back to My Garden. Have an incredible week.